morning, everybody. My name is Cherisse. Welcome to my channel. I don't know why it always feels weird when I say it. Maybe I just needed like a new introduction. Welcome to the awakening experience. I can't. Okay, anyway, that's a good start already. That's a good start because this video is kind of more serious and kind of like a sad vibe around it. Today I wanted to talk about my sense of belonging, or more about my sense of not belonging. I do think a lot of people experience this. I want to share a little bit about my childhood and what I realize are some of the root causes of this. So I grew up, I was born and raised in Japan, and I lived there until I was 7.5 when we moved to America. So I grew up in a country where, there wasn't a lot of white people, and I did experience racism even as a little girl. I honestly don't remember most of my childhood, but I do remember that I did get bullied a lot. And I think all of my siblings got bullied. I did go to kindergarten for 1 or 2 years, and then 1st and 2nd grade in Japan. And I feel like being in Japan, being in a country where I was different from everybody else and experienced bullying and just never feeling like I fit in there, kind of started this feeling of not belonging. And then when I moved to America, I didn't fit in America either. I was basically like a little Japanese white girl. I was culturally completely different from the other American white children that I was surrounded with. When I was younger, especially when I moved to America, I was very much more reclusive than I was when I was in like Japan. I think I was more of a fun-spirited kid when I was in Japan, and being in America, I was more like I sat alone. I only had one friend, which was kind of similar to Japan. I didn't have a lot of friends there either. And I was more like the kid who, when other people were playing like dodgeball or sports at recess, I wanted to sit in the benches by myself reading books. So I think part of that was probably due to overstimulation, but I also think part of that stemmed from trauma and the trauma of moving countries. And that's a very traumatizing experience for a child, to just be uprooted from their home and say goodbye to everybody that they've known and go and live somewhere else, where I also experienced a massive amount of bullying. I was just a skinny, lanky, blonde girl with 4 eyes. I had big lenses, baby. I started wearing glasses when I was 5, so I dealt with a lot of bullying for a long time for that. And so I went from not feeling like I belonged in Japan to coming to America and feeling like I didn't even belong in America. And I feel like this kind of childhood trauma, pain, has been perpetuated and relived throughout my life in different ways, from broken friendships to never feeling like I fit in the places that I was. My mother will say that I was not a shy child, but I am like, maybe when I was a very young kid, I was not very shy and I was more outgoing and fun and kind of how I am now. But I feel like I went through a lot of trauma as a kid that made me extremely reclusive and terrified of people and really fucking shy. So I didn't fit in most places that I went, and so I always just carried around this feeling like I didn't belong, and I always had broken friendships, and I have definitely been dealing with this feeling really strongly lately. As an adult, I've even dealt with it, I think, often in the form of broken friendships, or I am an extremely sensitive person. I'm very, very emotional, which can be very offsetting to other people sometimes. I honestly, when I get my feelings hurt, and I generally cry a lot about it, and that can make people very uncomfortable. So I generally recluse a lot just because I am an emotional person, and a lot of people are not comfortable with deep emotions or people who are more emotional. So I get to experience often this feeling that I don't belong just because of how emotional and sensitive I am sometimes. I have a lot of mental health issues that I am still going through, and sometimes when I am experiencing depressive lows and am just very sad about my life and things going on or different hurts, one of the feelings that I relay is this: I'm not meant for this world. I wasn't made for this world. I'm too sensitive. I feel like I'm too sensitive to be alive sometimes. It is something that I still struggle to love about myself, is my sensitivity. I honestly realize that I have a lot of deep insecurities, and I am somebody who needs a massive amount of love and reassurance because of how much bullying I've been through in my life. And it sucks that it still affects me, but it is something that I'm more aware of, and it's something that I've learned to work through and love on myself more and just process the triggers in more healthy ways than I used to, and let things go and learn to not be as easily offended, but also learn to not be around toxic, mean people. Like I said, lately I've been really experiencing this feeling again of not belonging. I'm going through a friendship break right now in my life. That's all I'm gonna really share about it, but it has been totally shattering my heart because this is somebody that I have loved and valued so deeply, and this is somebody that I wanted to remain a long-term friendship, and now it feels like I'm losing a part of my heart and a part of my soul family, and it sucks. It's really, really painful to experience this. It's painful to experience that feeling of not belonging with them anymore, when they were somebody that made me feel like I did belong, and having that kind of shattered where I have to work through those layers and at some point hopefully rise out of that and realize that my belonging is not based on one person or one place. I still don't necessarily feel like I belong. Honestly, that's something that I do have. I'm still having a difficult time with. I'm also having a really hard time in the place that I'm at. I think a lot of people out here are really struggling right now, and I've been having a really hard time finding consistent work. I've even at this point applied at like real person jobs. I'm gonna probably apply at some more jobs around here in this specific area tomorrow, just because the one job that I got does not seem to be very communicative about work, and I was supposed to work this past week and they just never contacted me. I called them last weekend, they never contacted me back, but it kind of worked out because I ended up having some car troubles at the beginning of this week and then entered a very extreme depressive episode. So honestly, maybe that was just the universe kind of helping me out by keeping me out of that situation so I could fix my vehicle and work on my deep, dark emotions. But yeah, I've also been having a really hard time making friends out here. I will say that I recently made a friend who seems like such an amazing person, and I'm so excited to have made a new friend, and it does make me more hopeful towards making more friends out here. But still really discouraged in that. This is a place that I do want to put down roots, and I've been here for like 3 or 4 months now, and it's been rough. I do have some friends out here, but I don't see them very often, and it's been feeling really lonely, and it's been getting to me a little bit, but I am just reminding myself I have a beautiful support system of more long-distance friends, and I'm just focusing on how grateful I am to have them in my life. If things don't work out for me here, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I feel like that's a sign that there's some place that's better for me. Even though I really am just like, I want to try here, man. I am really putting in a lot of effort, and I've been experiencing a lot of pain out here, and it's just felt so discouraging. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm just hopeful for some good situations to come my way so I can continue dwelling in the place that I want to be. That sense of belonging. I'm not posting this to necessarily share how I am creating a sense of belonging, because I'm not really sure how to do that. I think that it's a very deep wound for me, and it probably is gonna need some layers of forgiveness and self-acceptance and self-love, because I have hated on myself a little bit, a lot sometimes, for some of my very defining traits, like my emotionalness, that I realize I hate on because I have been so bullied and abused for being like this, and it's taken me a really long time to even start to feel comfortable and confident in that aspect of my personality, and to see the beauty in it. So if you are watching this and you are also a highly emotional, sensitive person, you're not alone. I hope that you are surrounded by, or you start to become surrounded by, people who love and accept you for even that part, because that part of you deserves love too. Maybe it needs extra love. Like for me, I do find that I tend to be attracted to and have attracted into my life more people who are not as emotional, or more stable emotionally, more grounded, and I love that. I think that's kind of a balance of like the opposites attract. I'm teaching deeper levels of emotion with them, and they're teaching me deeper levels of emotional stability and groundedness. So it's nice, and I do find it very comforting to be surrounded by people who are just you know, more grounded in that aspect, but also just like wrapping me in love and accepting me for that part of myself. I just gotta say, guys, accepting the people in your life, your friends, your family, whoever it might be, accepting them for those traits that are different than yours, but also beautiful, is one of the most amazing things that you can do for somebody else. Which speaks wonders on what it must do when you do that for yourself. I am still learning to accept that part of myself. I am a big advocate for own your sensitivity, own your emotionalness, but it is something that I'm still learning to love. I just wanted to share this today. I think a lot of people experience a sense of not belonging. I think that it does stem from childhood trauma. I also believe in like starseeds. This is an interesting part of myself. I have some very interesting beliefs, and I do think that I am from the stars. I have always felt since I was a little girl that I was not from Earth. Like, even being raised in the church, like, I always felt like I wasn't from Earth. And I do not think that this is something that is important to share or anything, even something that is like massively important to my life. But I do think that this could also be something that feeling just stems from childhood trauma and deep sense of not belonging anywhere you're at. So I don't know. Honestly, I think that both are possibly true. I actually find that to be kind of a fun belief, and if you think I'm crazy for that, that's all right. A lot of people do. I've been told I'm crazy for less, so if that's what you think I'm crazy for, I'm honestly okay with that. Just please be nice. Be nice about it. I've had some people be kind of really aggressive and mean towards me because I believed that I was basically an alien, and please be nice, guys. I don't think that I'm better than anybody else because of that belief. In fact, I struggle with feeling like I'm less than everybody else, so just be nice when people have different beliefs as well. So that's all I'm gonna share, guys. That's what I'm gonna end it with. Just this, like, yeah, getting weirder every day. But anyway, guys, I hope that you have an amazing, beautiful day. Thank you for watching my channel. Please do like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Okay. That's it. That's a wrap. Alright, bye guys.